first round submission victory seemed to be his thing because he's coming off another one this past weekend over Benito Lopez, UFC Fight Night, November 5th. It is Mario Bautista back here on the program. Mario, how are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Feeling good.
Yeah, another great performance. Was that how you expected the fight to play out? I know you're very confident in the ground game, but looking back, was that kind of how you envisioned things going?
Yeah. That's definitely the finish I wanted. I was prepared for 3 rounds if it had to be, but that's definitely the finish I wanted. Just to prove that I belong. A few steps up the ladder from him.
He missed weight, obviously, and there's a couple different ways you can take that. I'm sure there's some, hey, he missed weight, I'm annoyed. There's, hey, I'm getting some extra money, and there's probably also another side of it, which is you probably felt even more confident, maybe going into the fight, just knowing he had a tough time making the weight. Is it all of the above, or was there one specific thing you sort of thought when you found out he missed weight?
For me, it was more or less like he's not as disciplined as I am. He looked fine when I seen him at the weigh-in. Didn't look too sucked down. So uh, for me, there's like not really an excuse of why he didn't make the weight. So yeah, going into that fight, I knew he just wasn't disciplined, and that kind of stems into everything else, I believe, as far as like training. So I was ready to put it on him after that.
Did he feel heavier in the cage? It's not like he missed by a ton, but still, I know sometimes when guys miss weight, it's like, wow, the difference, who knows how much he's weighing in there, right?
I really didn't feel it too much. Once I wrapped up with him and got that takedown, like I finished it pretty easy. But during my training camp, the only guys that were around his height were 45ers. So that whole camp, I was working with bigger guys anyway. So we prepared well for this one.
Was there anything that you didn't expect from him in this fight? I know it was quick, but was there anything that surprised you at all?
Uh, Not really. I thought he was going to be a little bit more aggressive. He threw his kicks. We knew he was going to do that. I thought he'd be a little bit more aggressive with his hands and forward pressure. But once we were in there, I think he just kind of felt, overwhelmed, and I started to take over after that.
Obviously he had been off for 3 years. Was he the fighter that you expected, watching tape and everything, or was there anything different that maybe not surprised, kind of like the last question, but you know what I mean? Like, was there something about him in the cage that maybe looked different than what you thought he was going to be?
No, not really. I mean, I prepared for like the best version of himself, but he still looked like, he didn't really improve too much or wasn't in the gym as much as he could have been. So yeah, that's on him, and I just went in there and did my job.
Short night for you. How did you celebrate after the victory?
We were in Vegas at the hotel. I learned how to play roulette, so I was there for a little bit playing, and ate some good food. Came back home. I'm now with the family.
Good. Was it like the first flight out or first drive out, I should say, the next day, or was it one of those things you just stayed in Vegas for a little bit?
Oh no, that was just that night. I After the fight, we had to get up at 8 to go to the airport, so I didn't stay out too long. But yeah, it was one of those early morning flights.
What was that first cheat meal like after the fight? What did you get to eat?
We went to Gourmet Burgers. It was perfect. If they had some tater tots, it would have been a 10 out of 10. But there's a burger shop in that hotel I was eyeing the whole week. I just kept walking past, and I'm like, that's gonna be the first thing I get after this fight.
Where is that? The Red Rock? Where is it?
It was at New York, New York,
Oh,
and
gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure
yeah,
where you guys were staying this time.
it
So
was called Gourmet Burger, and man, it was looking real good. So that was the first one on my list.
good. That's great, man. And obviously, your buddy Sean O'Malley, I saw had some kind words on social media. Have you spoken to him since the fight?
No, I haven't seen him since. I seen him after before I took off to Vegas. Just congratulate him on his fight, but I haven't seen him since. So next time around, hopefully we'll see each other.
Yeah, nice getting that compliment there. And obviously, you came away with a little bit of extra cash, not only from the weight miss, but the bonus. Like, what are you going to be doing with the money?
Uh, I I think I'm gonna be saving it. Me and my wife want to get a little bit of a bigger house. Um, so maybe in a few months, the market goes down, we'll look into buying something. Be smart with the money.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, got the family, got to be responsible with the money, as they say, right? Which is great. I know we're only a few days removed from the fight, but do you sort of have an idea of when you want to get in there and have that next fight?
I was talking to my manager. I want to get in February. I think it's like mid-February, just so I can get a good start to the year, like I did this year. And so maybe I could fight each quarter, or at least get three in this year again and get some good momentum going.
And you got to enjoy the holidays, right? I'm sure that's very strategic as well, because you just won. The timing of this fight's great, right? Like November, so it doesn't really interfere with Thanksgiving or Christmas or anything, right?
Yeah, especially Thanksgiving, if we could time Thanksgiving right, that's always good. I could, keep going back for seconds, thirds, and not have to worry about it.
Thanksgiving's a bigger deal down in the US than it is I live in Canada. Our Thanksgiving's in October and it's just like, turkey dinner, all this stuff. But I know Thanksgiving in the US is like a huge deal. I've heard it's even bigger than Christmas sometimes. Is that true?
Oh, it can be, so with my family, you go hit up one house, you get seconds there, and okay, we're gonna go over to this house, eat food there, and you might hit two or three houses. So yeah, I guess it's pretty big down here. We
Okay.
like
Yeah.
food.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll take your word for it. Another first round finish here, like I mentioned, is a ranked opponent's got to be next, right? I mean, you've gone out there, you passed the test with flying colors those last couple fights. Is this the fight that gets you that ranked opponent next?
That's what I'm asking for. I feel like
Mhm.
if I ask for a top 15, then at the very least I'll get someone, sitting right outside of it, or if I'm lucky, get a top 15. So I think that's the next step for me in my career.
Is it one of those things where, either top 15 or maybe like a notable opponent, like, someone that's got some cachet behind their name, so to speak, nothing against Benito or Brian Kelleher, but you know what I mean? Like someone that could really propel you up the ranking, so to speak.
Yeah, and even if they are sitting out the top 15, if it's a good name, they have a good following and the fight makes sense, it's exciting, which I think all my fights would be no matter what. But yeah, I don't see why not, and you know, really test myself so I can continue to grow.
Is there any stylistic matchups at bantamweight that you look at and you say, hey, that would be a really fun fight? Kind of looking at the top 15.
Uh, I I don't even know who's in the top 15.
Okay.
Those are
Leave
like
that up to
ever
your coaches and
changing.
management. Yeah.
Yeah, but like with anyone, like I think I match up well with anyone. I could adjust. I'm well rounded, so I could adjust to anyone and make it an exciting fight. So there's not a fight I look at like I want to avoid or like
Mhm.
any fight.
Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't matter. Sort of trust the process there. And what about the rest of the week? You're coming off this big win. What do you do when you're off, fight week? I'm sure you've gone to the gym or at least, said hi to everyone, but what's the rest of this week look like?
I'm heading back to the gym, but my vacation is I get to, relax a little bit while I'm there. Nothing's like as intense. Maybe go with a newer guy that, I could have like a little bit of easier day. And yeah, just be in the gym, make sure this food doesn't pile up on me throughout this week.
Do you even get to like vacate, like living in Arizona with the weather being so good? Like, is there even any point in vacationing? You got all that nice weather as it is, right?
Oh yeah, I mean we're in the good months right now. Right now it's like really nice to be outside. But yeah, it's these next 7 months are gonna be really nice.
You got any like victory dinners or anything planned, like getting together with some friends or family or anything like that this week?
Uh, I think we're gonna go do a sushi place. There's this good Mexican sushi place. I know that sounds a little weird,
I was just gonna say
but
that's a first. I don't think I've ever heard of that, but yeah.
everyone says that. But it's really good. It's just a lot of deep fried sushi, and that's the kind of sushi I like. And yeah, so we'll probably be doing something like that.
Do you have like a go-to sushi? For me, I actually really like, and maybe I'm in the minority here. I like the sushi with a little bit of cream cheese in it. It tastes delicious. I think it's called like an Alaskan roll, is what they call it. But because sushi's big up here in Vancouver, we're right next to the ocean and everything, so we get really top quality sushi up here.
Yeah, I love the ones with like cream cheese and then the ones here, they're I always get this carne asada roll, and that one's pretty good, a chicken cordon bleu roll. It sounds a little weird, but they're actually pretty good.
No, I'll take your word for it there. And what about like, do you get time like this week to like catch up on TV? Or I know you're in dad mode as well. Like what are there things that you've kind of neglected during camp that you get to?
Yeah, well, since we're in the nice months now, I'm gonna be working on it. My truck, it's an '85 Silverado, so I get to work
Nice.
on that finally and start getting it the way I want. And now that I have a little bit of extra cash, I'm not worried about getting all these parts and stuff like that.
I guess you've always been a car guy.
Uh, when I could afford it, yeah. As soon as I think my last bonus I got, that's when I went and got an old truck and started putting money into it. And my family's always had those style of trucks, so I've always liked them. I've always wanted to work on them, and now I get that chance to.
Does it have a cassette deck in the truck?
Oh no, it came. Someone ripped out that one and put in their own little newer one. So actually, I don't think it even had a cassette in there. So it was
This
pretty
thing in
stripped down.
'85, they would have had them back then, right? It wouldn't even had a CD player because CDs were like the '90s, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's a lot of guys like they rip those out and put in a newer one, a newer system. That's like one of the first things they do. So, but yeah.
There you go. Mario, thanks for this, man. Again, congratulations on the victory. If there's anyone you'd like to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media, anything like that, I'll give you the last word.
Oh, always just want to thank my team, the MMA Lab, all my training partners, my management, and thank you for having this interview with me.